I can't get in here.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Okay. Washable.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Well, it looks like a lot of people are muted still. I'm doing all right, thanks.
Good. I'm glad to see you here again this week.
Well, I haven't checked off all my boxes. I've got a lot of them done, but still working through that and just trying to be diligent and just, want to make sure I pick up every little thing. You have your script down. It's almost identical in places. So I was thinking maybe you'd say different things different weeks, but Thursday night I won't be back. I'm going up to Kokomo to see Sherry that day, and so I probably won't. If I get back, I'll be tired. So
Yes.
hey, I have a question before everyone's here. I looked up on my GPS where the shop was, and I couldn't find it with that address. There was a math tutoring place and then a coffee shop. And
That's it.
It's inside the coffee shop? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, my daughter's coming in June, and she's trying to complete her hours for her pilot's license. And so I said, hey, you want to go pick something up at the store with me? So I'm trying to see if this will workable. I mean, it's a couple hours down, a couple hours back, and there's like 6 miles away. The airport has a courtesy car, so it won't cost anything to go from the little airport there. So I was thinking about, wouldn't that be fun to
Yes.
see some people?
Yes.
I've met Jim before when I did Achieve up here, but I haven't met you folks, so that might be a interesting thing to do and see the products that you have. That maybe there's some. I've sent in an order for some things, but maybe I'll get some more. So.
Well, I mean, that would be so much fun to go. I would have to go to the airport and hold a Landra Halleck sign like, Shibboleth right over here, Landra. That would be so cool. We are not far from that airport at all. I'm talking, you make one turn, 2 turns, come straight up, and we're on the right. It is so close. But yeah, that's a space called, and Sherry Ditto, who is on Facebook right now, says that she'd love to meet you. And she is there Monday through Friday from 11 to 6. And then myself and Kristen are there typically on Saturday from 10 to 2. So we'd have to find out when you're coming and everything. But that would be so cool. I mean, how fun would that be? Here we are to welcome at the airport a visitor.
Well, I'm not saying you'd have to welcome me at the airport. The courtesy car could get me to the shop, but that would be fun for you maybe too. Like,
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
So that's my big adventure. Last year we were going to go to Italy, and that didn't happen. So we're not going this year. So we're trying to find adventures. So this is a mini adventure I was thinking of. So.
Well, that sounds great. Hopefully it'll work out. Okay, well, we are going to go ahead and we're going to get started tonight. Thank you all for being here. I see you on here, Angela. Thank you for saying hello. And yes, Gary's saying she's got a student pilot. That's right. She can get some hours in. Hey, Stephanie. So I'm actually working Missy's job this week some, and Missy does mentor calls and things like that. So I just had a mentor call with Stephanie and Gary tonight, and they're both here on the call. Hey, Melanie. I've missed you, girl. How are you? I've missed seeing posts and things from you and Shippy Show and stuff. I'm glad you're here. There's Stephanie. Hey there. And Christine is back with us this week. Hey, Kim Freeman and Mita. I'm so glad that y'all are here with me tonight. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go ahead and get started. So what my hopes are that you have worked on lap 1 and 2. All right, because on Sunday night, I did the Sunday night webinar, which is the lifestyle overview. Hey, Catherine. I know, Sherry, wouldn't that be so fun if we held signs? She's saying we could hold signs. That would be fun. Landry, you get the best welcome ever coming to the McCollum Airfield. We'd love it.
Okay.
But so what I did on Sunday night is I did the lifestyle overview. So the way I look at the lifestyle overview is that it is an aerial view. If we went up, I'm a drone pilot. I'm an FAA certified drone pilot myself. So if I flew this drone, if I flew my drone up and we did an overview, Sunday night was that overview. Like, what do I have to do every single day to make this happen? That was Sunday night. Monday night's webinar was all about food combining, because one of the most important things that you can do is start to familiarize yourself with what foods do you like and what category do they go in. Well, you know, hearing somebody read out a list to you saying these are lean proteins, these are fibrous carbs, that's part of the education that you need. So that was Monday night. So what we're going to do, and those were 2 webinars. Tonight and the rest of the week are meeting style like this. So you can have your screen on or off, doesn't matter to me, either way you feel most comfortable, but feel free to ask questions and unmute if you have questions and type them in the chat, all those things, but you're just welcome to ask. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to scan lap 1 and lap 2, and then we're going to move into lap 3, because lap 3 is really, really important. So this fast track lap system was designed as a self-guided, self-directed, self-paced program for you to work yourself through. Now, we are quite aware that people in this world are very, very busy. And so, but we also don't want to not help you live if possible. So that's why we go live every night at 7:30 doing this. But if you're unable to watch live, hey, Miss Polly, if you're unable to watch live, everything that we do is recorded and then put on the website for you to watch on demand at your convenience. So just remember to go back and do it. Okay. So what the fast track is, I want everybody to put blinders on, and you work through this methodically. You methodically work through this, and it will start to build on each other, and you're going to start to hear similar things, and everything's going to start layering, and there's going to be cross-referencing, and it's all going to start to come together as to what you're doing. So what I'm going to do kind of quickly is I'm just going to read these laps, teach you how to do these laps, mention anything important, and move on to the next lap. But welcome. Everything you need to learn and live the Shibboleth lifestyle can be found on our website. We are excited that you have decided to take this step to improve your overall health and create a healthy lifestyle. We know you're excited to get started. Your journey begins by working your way through each step and each lap of the fast track system. You may freely move around in these laps, checking off items as you complete them. Once you've completed the fast track quiz and earned your first badge, the entire website will be open up to you if you are a silver or tiger level member, and the variety is endless. And then remember that we're here for you. Okay, so you've got free mentor appointments included in your membership, and also remember to have fun. This is just food. Okay, and we're just switching up the way we're eating, and we can have fun, and we should have fun. This is supposed to be fun. So when you see this lap right here with this video where it says lap 1, this is just a video of me showing you, oops, for some reason it's not playing. But anyway, this is a video of me showing you how to do all of these steps. So you can watch that and you can see how to do all of those steps right there. Now, that's not part of the 14 little fast track videos. I call this a lap video. This is a visual of how to complete these steps, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to hover over this link and you read that black box. That black box is different for every single task. The information in that black box is why I want you to complete that task, and if there is anything special that you need to know about completing this task. For example, this one says when you click on this link, you will also need to click on the tab that says Kim's Events. So if you don't read the black box, you wouldn't know that additional bit about clicking on Kim's events, because it just wouldn't link directly to mine the way that that's the way it's set up. So I had to give you that information there. So this one is register for all of the upcoming week's fast track classes. And y'all are in one of those classes right now, okay? But we have one each night at 7:30. This task is to watch the 14 fast track videos. Now, rest assured, it will only take you a little less than an hour to watch all 14. So they're not long. They're just 3 minutes here, 6 minutes there. They're just topical little videos to start to introduce you to everything. This task here is your welcome packet and guidelines. You're going to want to read this. And this is the way I like for people to read things, from the first word to the last word. Okay, first word to the last word. And you just read through this, and this is going to continue to build on what it is that you're going to do each and every day. And I want you to remember that the habits that we are trying to change didn't happen overnight. And what I'm just so thankful for is that I now know, now I have some standards. I just didn't have standards to live by. Now, before I had attempted to have standards, it just wasn't all packaged so nice and fun and cool as this fast track and this the Shibboleth lifestyle. So this is the standards that we live by. And then our 5 things that we do every day, I just call them my daily objectives. If you're talking education talk, daily objectives. If you're talking, let me modify my behavior talk, we're talking like these 5 daily disciplines. You can just call them whatever you want to, but they are the 5 components of the Shibboleth shield. And it is called a shield for a reason, because a shield will protect you and keep you safe if you use it. If you don't use it, fiery darts are coming at you and you don't have anything to protect yourself with. And then this one is simply the phase 1 combination chart. You're going to want to print that. If you do not have a printer, you can screenshot that so you can have it on your phone. And these other things, you can just save them on something. If you don't want to save them, you don't have to even save them. As long as you are aware of what these things say and you have completely read it, and you understand it, that's when you feel like you check off that box. Okay, don't check off the box until you're comfortable with it, because that box is meant to keep you focused. This is a really cool chart, though. I'm gonna open it back up again. Look at this chart. What it's got right here in the center is fibrous carbs that are more vegetables. You got your fibrous carb breads, some fibrous carb buns, and some fibrous carb tortillas. Now, obviously, your fibrous carb vegetables are really your best bet, but most people are not willing to give up bread. And if you don't have to, if you are finding and buying the right bread, you don't have to. So we just teach you in the grocery store what items to purchase. And so we've listed those out right there. Now, these breads here, they make it into this category because they break down in your body like a green bean rather than like a bread. So your body is seeing that it has enough fiber in it and it's being useful to you. It's not hurting you. So that's why these work. But if you ever have the opportunity to cut out bread or make a better decision about bread, maybe 1 slice rather than 2, those types of things, then less bread is always best. And for fat burning, tortillas are actually better than buns and breads. So we've got these category 2s right here in the center. And then this in the top left-hand corner, this right here is just giving you some category 1 lean proteins. And this little arrow right here is just showing you that category 1 lean proteins go with category 2 fibrous carbs. So to combine a meal, you would simply pick something from this category and something from this category and eat it together. And then right here, you've got category 4, protein plus fat. And these are just tiny lists. There's thousands of foods in the food library. These are just small. But you could pick something from this list and something from this list and have a 4 and a 2 combination. Now, when you do this, you want to keep in mind that these lists are small because you don't need lots and lots of food choices in the beginning. You just need simple ones just to get you started, because as you continue to live and learn the lifestyle, you will branch out and try other things. And then right here, we got category 6 superfoods. They can be eaten with a category 2 fibrous carb. This is category 7 shellfish. They can be eaten with a category 2 fibrous carb. And so all of these little documents that we have are just things that have popped into our minds over the years that thought, well, maybe if somebody looked at it like this would make sense to them. So we're just, all the things are on here to just help every person that might be exploring this lifestyle to understand it and comprehend it. And then there's our condiment rule, which we went over last night. And then there's our cooking oils, which we went over Sunday night and Monday night. So I'm not going to continue on with those. But this is a really cool link here. This is Travis's Fast Start Meal Ideas. So this is 9 pages giving you breakfasts. I'm not going to read them. Y'all would need to read them on your own, but gives you breakfasts and some lunch, dinner options. I'm looking for the headings. Okay, and then lunch, dinner options. So those are some really great Fast Start meal ideas. So you'd want to read that. This is the phase 1 program book. This one is 66 pages long. So if you are printing, you may not want to print this out. You could just read it. I remember flying home on an airplane when I was learning the lifestyle. I read this on the airplane. So I just read it on my phone on the airplane. Or you can read it on your computer. But this is just the written version of everything that we're trying to teach you. So the reason that I like for y'all to explore in all the different areas is because you're going to pick something up from every single different way you are trying to learn this. And when you build a framework of knowledge, you start to add in this information, and then that information connects to this information, and it all starts to connect and make sense. This one right here is a sample grocery list. I recently saw somebody that did something really cute with it. She printed this out and then she cut out the little things, and then she went to the grocery store and she had attached it with a little clip, and she just went in and bought some of these things here and then came home and started combining them. One of my best pieces of advice, though, is to not over purchase at the grocery store, because you may not be able to eat everything all in one week. I mean, unless you can freeze it, then you can freeze it. But don't over purchase, because what if you buy something that you don't like, and then of course you have too much of it, just different things. So just buy little bits at a time until you start to familiarize yourself with everything. But what I like about these sheets is that I kept a running tablet I had category 1 at the top of one sheet, category 2 at the top of the next sheet. And then every time that I never even printed this thing out. I just would read it online and then transfer the information. Because, like, for example, I'm probably not ever going to drink hemp milk. So I didn't need to write hemp milk on my list. I'm probably not going to do it. So I don't need to have that on my list, because I want it all to be customized for me. And then this links you to the new member food library. And again, just like the other times, we are trying to give you lists of foods that fall in these different categories. And when you look at the combination chart, which is right here, you're just going to say, oh, okay, I can eat a lean protein by itself. Oh, that can come from this list. I can eat a lean protein with Mct oil. All right, got that. I can eat a lean protein with a fibrous carb. Okay, to do that, I'm going to pick one thing from this list and one thing from this list. I'm going to portion control it with my 2 hands. I shouldn't see my food sticking out from underneath my hands. And then I'm good to go. I've got a properly combined, properly portioned meal. And then this is a meal plan worksheet. This is a great worksheet. So whatever you currently eat for breakfast, write it down. Whatever you currently eat for lunch, dinner, and other snacks, write them down, because you might just be able to make some simple swaps and still have the same thing. It just might be that you need to change loaf bread, or it might be that you need to not use that butter that you're using, or the jelly. It just might be some simple swaps. That's what we like to call them, simple swaps. So what we can do is, you would write breakfast down, and then you go into the food library and you play around and you find the new item that you're going to purchase. This is really just about buying new items at the grocery store. And, right now, when you go to the grocery store, you're just throwing the same stuff in the buggy because you're used to buying it. It's going to take you just a minute in the grocery store to find the new things. But once you've found the new things that you like, those are going to be the new things that you throw in your buggy. Okay. So it's just changing your habits. And then 1, 2, 3. These 4 are all about Facebook things. This is joining the new member fast track group. If you click on it, it takes you to the group and then you click join. This one is liking the Shibboleth public page on Facebook. This is joining the silver level group, which is available to silver level members and up. If you have a fast track membership, it wouldn't be available to you. You'd need to upgrade to get that other one. And then this one is the Shibboleth Fixed It group. Okay, the Shibboleth Fixed It group is a special group. It's a group that our food guru, Kim Shibboleth, which is not this Kim, if you post something in that group, the front of the item and the back of the item, she'll have a look at it. But we do expect that you've already looked that item up in the food library, okay? Because we don't need to just be overworked for no reason. So look it up in the food library first. And then if it's not in the food library, that's when you post the 2 pictures. Kim Shibboleth will have a look at it. And if it will work, she adds it to the food library and everybody can benefit from it. That's how our food library grows. But if it doesn't work, you'll learn a lesson as to why it doesn't work. Now, keep in mind that if there is something that is not approved on the Shibboleth lifestyle, you can still have it. What day, y'all? What day can you have it on? Who wants to answer that?
The cheat day?
All right, Gary, you are almost right. You are almost right. It's a holiday. Yeah. Now, Gary, let me explain that. That cheat day, I don't call it cheating because you know what? I'm a teacher and I'm a principal and I don't like cheating. Cheating has a negative connotation. And it's negative. It's negative. So why would we call just eating food? Why would we have a negative connotation with that? But yes, Gary, everybody else might call it a cheat day. We just put a more positive spin on it and we call it a holiday. But you are right. So there's absolutely nothing that is being taken away from you in the Shibboleth lifestyle. It is really just dependent upon what day you're choosing to eat it on now. So when you are in weight loss mode, you can use up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. If you are just now getting started with the Shibboleth lifestyle, I bet you anything you've already had 6 holidays this month because we are on May 25th, okay? So I would suggest that you have perfect days the rest of this month. Make sense? You wouldn't want to say, oh, I get 6 holidays a month, let me use them up. No, let's go ahead and get started with some perfect days. And then on this last task, it's make your first journal entry. We want to make sure that you know how to use your journal. Now, I spent a lot of time on that last week and I realized it took too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the journal, but I'm going to show you there's a new view and an old view so that you're aware of that. But we're not going to spend too much time on this because y'all need to go in and play with that. Okay, so I just clicked on that mint green tab. And do you see right here where it says view? There is a new view and there's an old view. I prefer the old view. So we're going to scroll through that real quick and then I'm going to show you the new view. So right here, you're just going to choose what kind of day you're having. If you are a silver level member or up, you're going to see all those different types of days. But remember, I want everybody in the beginning to put their blinders on. Don't get curious yet about those other types of days. All those other types of days are perfect days. They're just more advanced types of days. Gary, did you have a question?
Yeah, how do I tell what level membership I have?
When you come right up here, see right here where mine says Tiger's Eye member?
Yep.
You would just scroll up right there and see what yours says.
Okay, thank you.
And if it's a silver level and you want to upgrade to Tiger, it would just be $59 to do so. And you would click the orange upgrade button. See, I don't have an orange upgrade button because I'm already there, but you would if you needed to upgrade, okay? Great question. All right, so, but all of those different types of days are just different types of perfect days. They're just more advanced and everything. But right now, to get this lifestyle down, perfect or holiday, okay, that's it. Okay, this is where you list your foods out. If you want to write in what time you woke up, what time you went to bed, you can do that. Your motivation for doing the lifestyle, be honest. This is where you would put your weight and any measurements. I put my weight in here much more than I put my measurements in here. In the beginning, I would put my measurements in here at the beginning, and then every 4 weeks or every 20 pounds lost, whichever way you want to do that. And then this is where if you have Fitbit, it will sync with Fitbit. Fitbit is the only one that would work with us. So if you have another type of system that measures your steps or miles, you can just manually go in there and type that in. This is where you would mark how much water you are drinking for the day. And this, if you see this, like this is hyperlinked, this word supplements right here is hyperlinked. That's because you can add your own supplements. All of these things right here are just things that I sometimes do. And so I have them listed right there. These 4 are already pre-programmed in. Just because they're pre-programmed in doesn't mean you have to drink them in a day. It's just things that are done frequently. And so they're already pre-programmed in. But if you click on my supplements, it'll take you over to an area where you can add your own. So Gary, that's where you can add your Mega Man there. Okay. If, once you have it looked at, make sure it's good. Okay. And lost my spot. So that's the journal, and oops, that's where I was going. Okay, but see, there's a new view. So this really just depends on which view you like. I just like the old view. Oh, and by the way, on the old view, every time you hit save, I hit save because I don't want anything that I mean, every time you see a save button, because there's 3 on there, I would always hit save. I just don't want to lose anything so that I've typed. So make sure you hit save. So what's the difference about the old view and the new view is see how they have today. Then this is the measurements. This is challenges and exercise. So it's all the same thing. It's just listed off in little tabs right across the top rather than scrolling down. Okay, so that's the new view and the old view, and you just have to decide which view you like and go with that. But also, if you click this button, it would take you back a day. If you click this button, it would take you to your very first entry. I'll take you there to see my very first entry. It was a perfect day, and there's what I ate for that day. It's in there. So everything's in there. It would take you to the very first entry. If you want to view your calendar, like your timing chart, there's the timing chart. That's my timing chart for this month. Oh, that was actually when I started Shibboleth. Yeah, that's cool. That was my very first month in Shibboleth. I had my 2 first perfect days. On your 3rd perfect day, you get a flame. You are in EFB, efficient fat burning, on your 3rd day, and then you string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can, and then planned or unplanned, what's coming?
Don't you mean what's going?
No, planned or unplanned, what's coming? You said it a minute ago, Gary.
The weight.
Well, okay, so right here, this is a perfect day, this is a perfect day, and then I'm stringing together some efficient fat burning days. And then planned or unplanned, what kind of day is coming?
Holiday.
A holiday. Okay. So whether we plan it or don't plan it, sometimes a holiday comes. That's okay. We now know what to do after that. So this right here was Easter. So I went to Alabama for Easter and I had holidays. Well, I got right back to it. I had a perfect day. And then I learned about intermittent fasting. And so I did an intermittent fasting day. And then I learned about WOW challenges. Do you see how this is an EFB day with a WOW on it? That means I was inefficient fat burning and I did a WOW challenge. And then this one I was inefficient fat burning and had intermittent fasting. I also had intermittent fasting on these days as well. It's just that it doesn't give you both little icons. It just picks the WOW over the intermittent fasting when you do that. But this is your timing chart. This chart is very important. We'll talk about that in lab 2. Hang on. Okay, in lap 2, this is just kind of little housekeeping things that you need to do. First of all, if you watch this lap video right here, it's going to be me showing my screen and how to do all of those things. Okay. So the very first thing you want to do is confirm your email. You want to make sure that you're getting emails from us. Even if you have to go into your contacts and say, yes, myshabolik.com is approved. That way you get it into your email box, but go ahead and confirm your email. You're going to find your ideal weight. This is very important because sometimes people really don't know where they should be. I know I didn't. So you want to do that. Complete a full body assessment. You want to do that. Complete your profile. You definitely want to do that. You want to record your measurements. Okay, now all of these things right here are kind of related to one another. And that's okay. You want to do each one individually, but make sure in your profile that you record your measurements. That's kind of why it was there, because you're going to get some measurements when you do this full body assessment. And then you want to make sure those measurements are recorded in your profile. And then you do want to take a before front and side picture and upload to your account. The reason you want to do that, let me see what I have in here. I hope it's not scary. I might have to click off of it if it is. Oh, okay. Well, that was me teaching a lesson and different things. Okay. I got all kinds of pictures in here, y'all. I put pictures in here a lot. So I'm not sure what I did, but anyway, oh, there's view all. Let me click view all. Let me see if I can find my first ones. But if you want to put your pictures in here, because if you put your pictures in here, oh, like I think I showed that last week. This was me the week I was learning the Shibboleth lifestyle. I just happened to be at an axe throwing event. So I wrote ready to cut the fat. And then this was me after I lost 50 pounds. So that was in there. But you want a before and after picture in there because you're going to be surprised at the difference in the way that you look. And if you don't have that before picture, you're going to be bummed. Everybody that doesn't take that picture is bummed. Those people that don't take those measurements, they are bummed because they do not know how many inches they've lost. They can't keep up with all of that really cool, awesome data. So you want to give it in, put it right in here so you'll know. This one is to define your why. You got to know why you're here. Okay. Now I found out about Gary tonight that Gary is going to be running in an Ironman in September. He's got a very big why. He's got goals. So that's what he's going to write right now. But when he finishes up that Ironman, he's going to have some new goals, right? Because our goals and our whys can change every 3 to 6 months. So what I like for people to do with their why is to type it in there. But when you're ready to edit it, you can go back to there, but don't erase your first why. Just go above it and type a new date and type in your new why. That way you can always kind of see a diary of it, which is really cool. This one is to make some nightstand rules. Nightstand rules are simply those rules that when you wake up in the morning, you want to get in your head first thing. I'm going to do this. This is the type thing I'm going to be focusing on today. Then when you go to bed at night, you reread them, assess, how did I do? And then over time, those nightstand rules can change too. What you do when you click here is this takes you to a video where I'm talking about part of the video is talking about nightstand rules. So there's no real link to that because you write that on a piece of paper and you lay it on your nightstand. Okay, this one is watch the daily fast track webinars, which you're doing right now. Okay, but see if we click here now, do you see this one was Sunday, this was Monday, this one will be replaced with tonight. So I'll put it right there. Then this one will be tomorrow night. This one will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So those are the ones from last week, but you always want to make sure that you've watched all of those. And then the website that I used last night, this is right there. So if anybody ever wanted to come back here and just say, man, I don't even know what to do, you could come right here and you could go, okay, pick something from this category and something from this category. Cook it up in the appropriate oil, doctor it up with an approved condiment, and I've got an excellent fat-burning meal. So that is that link I used in the Monday night webinar. Now, it will make a lot of sense if you go back and watch that webinar if you haven't yet. And then right here, this is a biggie. I want you to take the fast track quiz and earn your first badge. And I want you to do this right here, because what we do on lap 3, and we're going to focus in on that tonight, is we're going to be playing around in that food library. The only way that your food library will open up to all the items listed is if you've passed that test and earned your first badge. So you want to make sure that you have passed that and earned the badge. Your food library will open up to you, your recipe library will open up to you, and your restaurant guide will open up to you. So that's really important to earn that. Okay, so that is lap 1 and 2. And so those are the ones that you just want to continue to methodically work your way through them if you haven't yet. So now we're going to play around in lap 3. Lap 3. I'm going to read this because this is important. This one is huge. Okay. One of the best ways to begin to familiarize yourself with the food library is to do the following brainstorming activity. And I'll ask you for a few examples in just a minute, but take a blank sheet of paper and then you just let the ideas completely flow from your mind. Write down in no particular order all the foods that you can think of that you like or you eat on a regular basis. Then you're going to look those foods up in the food library and write them down in which category they go into. Once you've done that, you're going to take another sheet of paper and organize your categories. As you're exploring the food library, please make sure that you heart it. You make sure that you like it. That's what heart means. Each food item that you like, or you even think you might want to try it, go ahead and heart it. Hearting a food item puts it into your own personal favorites, which can be found in your My Journal tab or the My Favorites tab in the food library. So let's go ahead and click here. So I'm now in the food library. And when you're on your computer, you see this list and you see this list. If you are just on your phone, you see this version of it right here, okay? But when I go into the food library, let's say that we want to find some lean proteins that we like. So we can click on lean proteins. It's going to generate a list. Okay, so we've got this list here. Now, these things may or may not apply to lean proteins, but what these things are, these are filters. So if you need something to be, if we're looking at breads and you need it to be gluten-free, you click the gluten-free filter. It will get rid of anything that's got gluten in it. If you're looking for something with no high fructose corn syrup, you can click that. You don't want something with no artificial sweetener. If you are vegan or vegetarian, you can click these filters. Okay, so you can use those filters to help you drill down into the specific foods you're looking for in that lean protein category. And then we have this weight loss meter. It goes from a -3 to a +3. We're going to take this little ball here and we're going to slide this over. And I just want to see what the negative items are, because really the negative items are the best for weight loss. So I'm going to click that set button. It is going to regenerate my list and remove any 0 to +3s. Okay, now that it's done that, I've got my list. Do you see right here in this blue box? This is the weight loss meter. This is a -1 item. This is a -2 item. This is a -3 item. And you can see that I've hearted these. And what this box means, 485 other people have taken the time to go into the website and say that they like this item too. And then we'll talk about grocery lists later in the week, but this is adding something to a grocery list. So what I did was I just went through this and I just thought, let me read these things. Okay, I eat that. Let me heart it. Let me heart it. Let me heart it. Because I wanted to familiarize myself with the items that came into the food library. Another thing that I did was I went and got the foods that were in my own pantry at the time that I started Shibboleth, and the foods that were in my refrigerator at the time. I brought them into my computer and I just started looking for them. And if it was in the food library, I would then take a Sharpie marker and I would write on the item how the food library tells me I can use that item. Is it a category 1? Is it a category 2? How much of it can I have? And is there anything specific that Kim Shibboleth told me about this item? I wrote that on the item itself. That way, because it's hard to remember absolutely everything that you come across. So I wrote it on the item. Well, when that item goes back and it's sitting in my pantry or it's sitting in my refrigerator and I walked in there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's how you use that. Well, I'm not doing that right now. Close that back up and then make a better decision. So I wrote in there. Now, I don't usually write things anymore on stuff because I know the things that I use and I know how to do it. But that is a good beginning task to do. And I was also very curious about the things that I had in my home, which because I hear from a lot of people, oh, I eat healthy. Well, really? You do? Okay. You must not be eating healthy because you're wanting to lose weight. And so that's really a misnomer. People think they eat healthy and they can't understand why they're overweight. Well, one reason is because they don't know what's healthy and what's not healthy. They don't know the secrets that we're teaching you. So I was that person. I thought that I ate healthy. And so when I started Shibboleth, I looked up my pancake mix, which was I don't know, rice flour or something, something fancy sounding. And I thought, oh yeah, this has got to be good. Not approved. Okay. So I then looked up my protein powder, not approved. So, I mean, I was learning lessons from the very beginning. And do you know what? I was thankful for those lessons because that's exactly what I wanted to know out of the Shibboleth lifestyle. And I listen to what the food library says and I follow it. I don't attempt to push the limits. I don't attempt to change things up and make them work in the way that I want them to work. I just follow the guidelines and it will work. So you can see what you want to do is you want to play around in this. But randomly playing around in this can be fun, but it is much better if you brainstorm the foods you like to eat. Then you look those up. So somebody, you can unmute yourself. Please tell me something that you like to eat. Anyone can do it.
Spaghetti,
Spaghetti?
jerk
Okay.
chicken.
Did you say spaghetti or chicken?
I said spaghetti and jerk chicken.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up spaghetti. So it's because we're in the food library, it's going to pull up each individual food item that has the word spaghetti in the name of it. Okay. So this is different types of spaghettis that you can use. Now, there are some spaghettis that are better for you than other spaghettis. And I like the Explore Cuisine spaghettis. Those are really good. And see, like right here, this is the McCormick Thick and Zesty Spaghetti Sauce Mix. So if it has the word spaghetti in it, we just pulled it up. And so you would just want to make sure that you were scrolled through. But if you're looking for just pasta in general, you could just put in pasta right there and you would find pasta. But if you're looking for a spaghetti recipe, you would want to go into the green resources, foods and recipes tab and type in spaghetti and find some different spaghetti recipes. Now, I'm going to type in jerk and see what I get on that. I'm going to see if there's anything that's got jerk in the name for the jerk chicken. And then after that, what I would do, Gary, is I would go into the recipes and I would come up with jerk. Okay, so we got a lot of jerky listed there. Okay, so pretty much everything there is kind of jerky. But jerk chicken, when you think about it, that's a chicken. That's really just chicken breast that has been cooked in the jerk style. Kind of like you could take chicken breast and make it taste Mexican. You can make it taste Italian. You could make it be barbecue. So what I would do for jerk chicken is I would go into the recipe library and type in jerk, and let's see if we can find anything that's got that in there. Okay, there's a beef jerky. There is Caribbean jerk spice. That's probably like a spice mix that somebody has put in here how to make. And here's Caribbean jerk turkey burger. You could probably take this Caribbean jerk turkey burger and take that jerk spice and put it on the chicken. So, so you can do that. Now, when we're talking about chicken, chicken breast is a category 1 lean protein. But dark meat chicken or chicken with skin, that is a category 4 protein plus fat. And I really need y'all to watch Sunday and Monday night to do that. Otherwise, I will never get through tonight. But there's certain things that you do not want to eat with category 4 protein plus fat. Okay, so that's how you play in the food library, but I want to show you where to find your favorites. So we're here in the food library. You see right here where it says my food library, my favorites. I just clicked on it. These are all the items that I have personally marked that I like. And so there's my own favorites right there. This list is also in my journal for easy access. It's in my journal too. Okay, this next chart here, this next task here, what I'm doing there. Okay, click on your weekly timing chart above to view your personal timing chart. The link in this task is to a video on how to use your timing chart to your benefit. Your timing chart is going to be an extremely valuable tool for you. It's a great visual as to whether or not you are doing your best. On your first and second perfect days, you will see a green check. On your third perfect day, you will see a flame. You are now in EFB, baby. Your body is now in a state where it can burn fat efficiently. And I already kind of showed y'all that right there. Okay, so I'm not going to go over that again, but I'm going to click right here and just show you what pulls up. It just pulls up to a tutorial on how to use your timing chart. I guess I need to start my computer over. It keeps giving me that message, but okay. This next task is really important. This one, it says create lists of your favorites in each category on your fast track worksheet. Each task below right here is all to be done on this worksheet. Okay, I've just broken them down in doable tasks so that you have a way to break things down into smaller chunks to get them done. Okay, so let's click here. Do y'all see this worksheet? Landra, you can see this worksheet?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, thanks. All right, so do you see right here where I want you to start listing out your favorite lean proteins, your favorite fibrous carbs, your favorite energy carbs. So remember the little brainstorming activity that I talked about? That activity lends itself to going into here, and once you've looked those up and you know where they are, list them out right here. And you can really print as many of these worksheets as you want to. And one of my suggestions one night to a lady at class was use one of these to make breakfast meals. Use one of these to make lunch meals. Use one of these to make dinner meals. So you can print as many of these as you need to. This is just a kind of a directed way for you to do that. So once you've got your favorites listed out here, you can build some meals. So your fastest fat burning combination is a lean protein, which a lean protein can come from category 1 or category 7. But so you would put a lean protein here and you'd put a fibrous carb here. And if it's something that you could cook up in MCT oil, you could just write MCT oil right there. So let's just say chicken breast and broccoli, and then you could cook that up in some MCT and put it right there. Now, MCT, I'm not going to go over it tonight. I won't have time, but I talked about it a lot on Sunday night and Monday night, but it's a medium chain triglyceride and it burns up like this. It has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. But as Stephanie and I talked about tonight, it has got to be used very specifically. You do not want to, you don't want to use it in coffee. You don't want to take it as a supplement. You don't want to pour it in shakes randomly. So we are really just using that for the purpose of cooking like in your pot or a pan, on your grill, anything, as a swap and a recipe. And you could also make salad dressings with it. But you don't want to just randomly take it for no reason, okay? Because there's a lot of noise out there about MCT oil, and and they may not be in the same nutritional situation that we're in. We're trying to burn body fat, and MCT oil doesn't it's still got calories in it. So we don't want to take it randomly. We use it purposefully. You want to make sure that it's 100% medium chain triglycerides, and you also want to make sure that you can cook with it. Okay. But let's say that one of your favorite lean proteins is Greek non-fat yogurt, which is a lean protein. And then maybe the fibrous carb that you've written down is some hemp flakes. You wouldn't put MCT oil in that. That just you wouldn't do that. Okay. So you wouldn't write MCT oil right here, because you wouldn't put that in that right there. So over here on the right-hand side, you can see that this is helping you build a little bit more advanced meals. This one is a lean protein with a fibrous carb and an energy carb. Okay. So if you want to eat an energy carb, which who can tell me what an energy carb is? Just name some food that is an energy carb.
Potato.
Okay, potato is an energy carb, and there's really no fat in potato, but the potato is the catalyst to fat storage, even though it doesn't have fat in it. So you eat the potato, your blood sugar elevates. It's just what happens. This is science, okay? It just happens. Your pancreas then secretes insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. But now that you're learning, I need to combine foods in a way that control insulin. Maybe you choose to have 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty as a lean protein with maybe some green beans, and then you have some potatoes there. What's going to happen is this: the protein in the 96% lean ground beef patty and the fiber that are in the green beans are going to help neutralize the insulin release that came from the potatoes. So you have just used food as medicine, combined all in one meal. You've just controlled insulin with that meal. And if you think about it, there was no fat in a lean protein, there was no fat in a fibrous carb, and there was really no fat there in the energy carb. So there wasn't any fat in that meal to be collected, but you still want to control that insulin, because what if later in the day you do have a protein plus fat? You don't want it to be, collected. You want to handle that insulin release right then. So this one right here is a lean protein from either category, because category 1 and category 7 are shellfish is category 7. They're all lean proteins. Category 2, fibrous carb with fruit. So Gary and I came up with a meal. He mentioned oranges, and so I just used that as an example, that if you want to eat an orange when you are in weight loss mode, it must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. And so we came up with turkey deli meat with an Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortilla. You could even put the little wedge of Laughing Cow cheese in there as a condiment, maybe spread that on the tortilla. You could line up some spinach if you like it, or some romaine lettuce or iceberg lettuce, anything. So there's actually two category 2s in that, the tortilla and the leafy green. And then we have the lean protein, which was the meat, and you could eat that with an orange. But when you are in weight loss mode, you don't want to eat fruit by itself. Once you get to maintenance, you can eat fruit by itself, but not in weight loss mode. Because weight loss mode and maintenance mode are two different nutritional situations. In weight loss mode, we want to control insulin very tightly. Once we've reached our goal, a little bit of an insulin release is not going to hurt us, okay? And especially if we've done everything kind of appropriately. And then this meal right here, this is a protein plus fat with a fibrous carb. And then this one down here is a category 6 superfood with a fibrous carb. So do you see how if you fill these in, you're simply just building meals at that point. And that's how you come up with, that's how you author your own meal plan. These freebies, extra snacks, and meal replacements, we're going to go over on a different day. But as you can see, once you've built your lean protein and fibrous carb meals on your fast track worksheet, then you can check that box. Once you've built those meals, you check that box and so forth. So it's just breaking it down into little doable chunks. So while we're here right now, I am going to flip over into Facebook because actually, I think I put it somewhere else. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all feel free to ask any questions if you have it. Now, Sarah on Facebook, the absolute simplest way to do this is to pick some lean proteins and some fibrous carbs and eat them. Out of the 5 things that we do every single day, only one of them has to do with food. One's water. One is writing down what we eat. One is what we eat. The other one is how much we eat. And the other is how often we eat. So it's only one of them has to do with what we're eating. So you want to start applying the 5 daily disciplines, but just pick out some lean protein and fibrous carb, put them together and eat them. I'm looking for a picture that I think I put in here, but I might not have. When you're looking at a video, if you see a blue box underneath the video that has some materials under it, always check out these materials right here. Okay, so it's not there. I'm going to go to Facebook real quick and show you something. I'm going into the Shibboleth new member fast track. And I want to find, I would check out this fast track. So Sarah, in the fast track group, if you come right here, I've asked this question: steak, what would you eat with it? And then all kinds of people answered what they would eat with it. I asked, what are your favorite lean proteins? And people answered. So, you want to go in there and find those things out. Okay. All of that stuff is good to check out. This is what I want you to see. So that worksheet that we were just looking at, this is a completed one. This is one of the completed ones. Awesome. Good job, Sarah. So egg whites, 96% lean ground meat, chicken breast, boar's head, London broil, pork tenderloin, and so forth, okay? And then what we did was we picked something from this category or this category, because lean proteins and shellfish are just lean proteins. We picked something from that category and put it there. So this is chicken and broccoli, and we can cook that up in MCT. This was shrimp and okra, and we could cook that up in MCT. 96% lean ground beef with butternut squash. By the way, butternut squash, I have never been a squash fan per se, but that butternut squash is good, and I eat it like French fries. So I could use MCT with that. Look at this, egg white French toast. All you're doing with that is you're taking egg whites and you are putting the fibrous carb bread in egg whites, and then you're just, there's another recipe that goes with it in the food library, but it's just, and put some cinnamon on it. Egg white omelet with a category 1 Canadian bacon and green peppers. So that's what somebody picked for that meal. So we've actually got 2 category 1s here, and that's okay. You can have more than one category 1. You just don't want it to be more than what fits under your lean protein hand. This is your lean protein hand. And then this one is simply egg whites and Sara Lee toast. You could even put some sugar-free jelly on there if you wanted to. you could put some Brummel and Brown yogurt butter on there, which, by the way, I thought yogurt butter might have sounded gross, but once I tried it, it's good. I'm a picky eater, y'all. I'm finicky, and I have managed to lose 50 pounds just trying what's in there. Forget everything that you thought you knew about nutrition and do this. So anyway, I want y'all to see what a finished worksheet looks like. Does anybody have any questions? Anyone? Bueller. Anybody remember that movie? What's the name of that movie, y'all?
Ferris Bueller, is that who
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah, Ferris Bueller. When the teacher just called out Bueller, nobody was answering. But thank y'all for being on here with me tonight. If you are on Facebook and you are watching this, please know that this is what we do to try to educate you on the nutrition education that we've just never had. Okay, so if you're on Facebook, one, I'd love for you to share this. Just click share right now and it's off. It's off to somebody. The Lord will get it where it needs to be. You just share it, okay? But if you're watching this and you are not a member, go to shibbolethdeals.com and then you can join. You can get a 2-year membership for $59 or a lifetime membership for $99. That's the one I would get. That's the best value. Grab that membership. That is going away. That has got to go away. We cannot continue to run everything on a shoestring budget like that. So we've got to go. That's got to go away. So grab it while you get it. But shibbolethdeals.com. Okay. And those of you that were here with me tonight, I just want to thank you. You have taken the time to invest in you. And investing in you is important because you are important. And so let's spend this week together. Let's learn all of this. And on Saturday night, I would love to see, thank you, Phyllis. I would love to see some of y'all's completed worksheets. I would love to see your completed fast track worksheets because that would assure me that you have gotten some meals together for yourself. Okay. But there's going to be some other ways this week that we are going to check that out. Now, right now, if you are a Shibboleth member, go over into the pink online webinars tab, register for the Zoom that Travis is doing starting right now. It is an interview with 2 ladies and 1 lady and her husband. They've lost 138 pounds together. The other lady has lost 138 pounds on her own. So make sure that you go over there and you watch that. It will be extremely inspiring. The reason I'm telling members to go into the pink online webinars tab and register and join that way is because you get credit for spending time. You get a badge and your number increases on your badge for spending at least 20 minutes in the Zoom room on a class. If you're on Facebook, you head over to Travis Martin's Weight Loss Ministry. Thank you all so much. I'm glad to see you here, Kimberly and Melanie and Gary and Christine and Kim and Mita. And to all the ones that just popped off to probably go watch that other video, thank you for being here. I'll see y'all tomorrow night at 7:30. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye, Gary.